Hello everyone, I'm Heather, and this is another video in my series Stuck at Home. These are a series of videos that I've been making to help give you ideas of things that you can do to keep busy, to entertain yourself, to travel in your mind while we're all stuck at home for a while. So I hope you are enjoying these videos. If you haven't checked out the others in my series, I'll link the playlist at the end of this video. In today's video, I am going to share with you the other travel YouTubers that I personally watch. The first thing that I want to tell you is this is not every YouTube channel that I subscribe to. This is also not even every travel related YouTube channel that I subscribe to. The ones that I chose for this video to give you on this list are the people that are regularly, consistently posting videos. So there are some other YouTube channels that I subscribe to that are travel related, but they're not either posting right now, or they haven't posted in a long time, or they're not producing videos on a consistent basis. And so I didn't include them in this list. And then there's other YouTube channels that I subscribe to that are not channel related. So those aren't on this list either. Okay, so I have quite a few. I'm going to go through them and tell you a little bit about their channel. So maybe you can check out the channels and see if you want to watch them too. I do also want to mention, because we're all stuck at home right now, none of these YouTubers, for the most part, are producing their normal type of content. Basically, every travel YouTuber has to be making videos from home right now. And so obviously that's very limiting for us, and they're not able to produce the content that they would normally. I mean, almost everybody on this list vlogs when they go places, and so they can't do that right now. There are a few YouTubers that do already have footage from trips that they took early in 2020, maybe in January, February. There's one or two that are still putting those vlogs up, but for the most part, most of these people have decided to reserve that content for a later time because they feel that it would be inappropriate to be putting those vlogs up during the pandemic. So what I wanted to say is, even though all of these YouTubers can't produce any vlogs for you right now, and they can't go anywhere, they can't travel, they have so much great content on their channels already from past travels. I have a lot of great content on my channel from past travels, and lots of tips videos and everything. None of that stuff is going away. There's so much great content already out there on all of these channels on YouTube that you could spend days and weeks and months and the whole time you're in isolation catching up on all these people's past videos and still not run out of stuff to watch. Okay, it's a fairly long list, even when I took out the people that don't have anything to do with travel and don't post regularly, but here we go. Okay, the first one. This is a very new channel, Ben and David. This is Ben and David's second channel. Ben and David are a married couple from the UK, and their original channel I'm going to talk about next, but this is a new channel that they started just recently to talk about their other travel stuff that's not cruises. So please check out Ben and David. Okay, the second one on my list is Ben and David's original channel, Cruise with Ben and David. Cruise with Ben and David is completely focused on cruise content. They go on lots of cruises all the time, and they give cruise tips and tricks and advice and all that kind of thing. And so this channel is completely focused on cruising and cruises. I was really excited because Ben and David did a live stream recently, and I asked a question during the live stream, and they answered my question. So that was kind of fun. It's always fun when you get a little mention on somebody else's channel. That's really cool. Okay, third channel on my list is Cruise Tips TV. This is Sherry from Cruise Tips TV, and you'll hear her talk about Mr. Cruise Tips TV and Junior, which is their son, and their family goes on a lot of cruises, and they have a channel completely dedicated to cruising and their cruise vlogs and cruise tips and cruise advice. So that's another great one if you're into cruising. Disney Cruisers. This is Ashley from Disney Cruisers, and her family is sometimes featured on her channel. She doesn't really vlog much. She's done a few vlogs. The majority of Ashley's content is Disney tips and amusing stories and things like that, but her channel is completely focused on Disney Cruise Line. If you're interested in Disney Cruise Line, or you love Disney Cruise Line like I do, you'll enjoy this channel. The next one is Don's Family Vacations. Don is a Canadian gentleman and he is a travel agent and he specializes in cruise vacations. He does the majority of his videos from home. He does a daily video. He has been a really good source of information during the shutdown of the cruise lines and everything because he puts a video up every day, keeping everybody updated about what's going on with that. He does also vlog sometimes, but his channel is pretty much solely dedicated to cruises. He actually had an Alaska cruise planned for June that I'm sure is going to get canceled now because of everything that's going on. Don's another great one if you're into cruising. Next up is Emma Cruises. Emma is from the UK. She is young. She's in her 20s. She's a single gal. She started a website or a Facebook page called Cruising Isn't Just for Old People. Her whole kind of mission is to help young people understand, younger people like her understand that cruising is fun for people of all ages and that you don't have to be old to enjoy cruising. And I really love Emma's sense of humor. She's also really fun to follow on Instagram. She does Instagram posts every day. Her cat Hudson is often featured. So Emma's a really great one if you're also into cruising. Okay, then one of my dear YouTube friends who is a smaller channel like mine, Faye and Dan's Travels. This is a couple from the UK, and they just started their channel not too long ago, and we're kind of neck and neck in subscribers, but they've done some really nice travel vlogs. Dan does an absolutely fabulous job with their editing, and they've gone to Slovenia, and they did a whole series on British Christmas that was really lovely. Sometimes they show some things that they're doing at home. They have 2 kids that are sometimes featured in their videos. So check out Faye and Dan and give them some love and tell them I sent you. Okay, also another smaller travel-related YouTube channel. My friends Jen and Joe on the Go. They focus mainly on Florida and Disney content. They do not live in Florida. They live in another part of the United States, but they travel to Florida regularly and they go to Disney quite a bit. And they have lots of content yet. They're one of the ones that still have content from trips they took to Disney in January and March that they're still putting up. Yeah, be sure and check them out. Jen and Joe are also a smaller, newer channel. Would really appreciate it if you gave them some views and subscribed to their channel. And again, tell them I sent you. Okay, the next one on my list is Michael K. Michael K is a pretty big YouTuber. He focuses completely on Disney content. Although since he used to live in the Baltimore area, but he moved to Orlando, Florida last July, I think it was, last summer. So he's lived there a little less than a year. And he was obviously very excited to be able to bring you daily Disney content. Michael does daily videos. He's obviously limited like the rest of us are in not being able to go to Disney right now because it's closed. His brother David has been there in Florida with him for a while, and David has convinced him to branch out a little bit and also go to like Universal and some of the other area things around Orlando. So he's expanded his reach a little bit. But if you really want great Disney content, Michael does a good job. Another one that I watch is Royal Caribbean Blog. Royal Caribbean Blog is also a blog, but they have a YouTube channel, and it's Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog, and he does a lot of very good informational stuff about Royal Caribbean and their ships and their destinations. So if you're interested in Royal Caribbean, you have a Royal Caribbean cruise planned, or you want to go on Royal Caribbean, that's a really good channel to check out because it's very informative. Talking Cruise is a cruise-focused channel that has videos all about cruises and cruise ships and anything related to cruising. They do a really nice job. They do really detailed full ship tours. A very informative channel if you want some good cruise information. The next one is Lalita Loca, and this is Tony and his wife Jenny. Jenny is actually a travel agent, and Tony will mention that sometimes. I totally love Tony's sense of humor. Tony does a daily cruise show from his home in Florida, and he talks about all sorts of things related to cruising. He's also been another one like Don from Don's Family Vacations. They're actually friends in real life. They actually went on their last cruise together. He presents a lot of really good information about what's going on with the cruising industry right now. He also does some vlogs on his channel of their cruises, and he's been doing some vlogs around his house that are kind of funny and entertaining. Next one is also a newer channel, and that's the Summit Push, and this is Jason and Kelly. Jason titled his channel after, you know, like setting a goal. And he actually has gone and climbed Mount Everest. He did some nice videos about that. Their goal right now is to take their viewers on every Carnival cruise ship in the fleet in the next 48 months. And I'm not sure when exactly they were counting the beginning of that. I think it was at the beginning of 2020, and I think they've only taken 1 or 2 cruises so far. They haven't put up all their vlogs yet from those cruises. And so they're basically on hold, and I'm sure some of their cruises have gotten canceled that they were planning to do. So I'll be curious to see if Jason and Kelly can still reach their goal of going on every Carnival cruise ship in 4 years, because I'm not sure when the 4 years started. But they do a really great job too. Jason's done some really good videos about the current situation with cruising and everything too. And they've been really great about giving me, I gotta really give a shout out to Faye and Dan, Jen and Joe, Jason from the Summit Push, and also my good friend Morgan from Very Unofficial Travel Guides. These guys have been really great about recognizing me and giving me a lot of feedback and commenting on my videos and watching all my videos and giving me a lot of support. So thank you guys so much for that. Okay, the next one on my list is The Daily Woo. This is Adam the Woo. He has a pretty sizable channel with a pretty good audience, and Adam focuses on road tripping it around the US, I guess is a good way to put it. He currently lives in Southern California in Orange County, and so he does a lot of stuff with like Disneyland and Universal Hollywood and stuff like that. He was in Florida, where he's from, where his family lives, his parents live, for quite a while, and so he featured he had quite a few videos on Disney World stuff going on out there for a while before everything got closed and shut down. And prior to that, he's done several cross-country road trips between California and Florida, where he's featured just a whole bunch of stuff in the United States on his travels. This last time now, he just flew home. He decided it probably wasn't the best idea to try to drive back in case like he couldn't get back into California. So he flew home. He did a really interesting video showing what air travel was like in the middle of the pandemic. It was eerie. There was nobody at the airport. There was like 12 people on the plane. It was very interesting to see. So Adam the Woo is another great one. The Daily Woo. I like his sense of humor too. He's just a fun guy to watch. Okay, next one is the Disney Double Dose. This is a married couple they were from Cincinnati, and they just moved to Florida. And unfortunately, with everything going on, they both are now out of work. They just moved to Florida. They sold their house in Ohio. They had just moved to Florida like January, and they now are stuck in their house in Florida and have no work and can't go to Disney. So that's a super big bummer. But they have lots and lots of great Disney vlogs from their past trips to Disney. And I'm sure when all this is over, they'll start going back to Disney again and giving you all sorts of great content. So check them out.
Somehow when I was recording this video, I forgot to mention the Tim tracker. Tim and Jen and their baby boy Jackson are also on my list. Normally when we're not stuck at home, Tim spends a lot of time going to all the theme parks in Florida. He goes to Disney, he goes to Universal, he goes to Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Legoland, all of those. They've also done a considerable amount of traveling. They've gone to Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea, they've gone to Aulani, they've gone to Disneyland and Universal in California. They've also gone to Europe. So the Tim Tracker is another great travel YouTuber to watch.
Next is Tips for Travelers. This is Gary Bembridge from Tips for Travelers. I think Gary is the second biggest. He has the second most subscribers of anybody on this list, I think. Gary used to do a little bit more different things, but really now he's come to completely, almost exclusively focus on cruising. He does also, though, show some very unique cruises, river cruises, Southeast Asia river cruises, things like that, that a lot of the other cruise bloggers don't ever do. Gary takes a lot of cruises. He's on a cruise almost all the time, and he has just tons of great advice about cruising on a lot of the cruise lines that a lot of people don't talk about. I mean, he talks about the mainstream cruise lines, but he goes on pretty much every cruise line imaginable. And he's been to Antarctica, and he goes on some of the smaller luxury lines, and just all sorts of cruising experiences that a lot of the other cruise bloggers don't ever touch. So Gary is also from the UK, and he just does a really great job with cruise content. So I highly recommend his channel. Next one is another newer, smaller YouTuber, Traveling Flamingo. And these guys haven't had a channel very long, but they've actually grown quite a bit in that time. It's a married couple. They're from Canada. Theirs is really pretty similar to mine. They focus on just travel in general. So they have a really good mix of cruise content, Disney content, and then other travels. I mean, they did stuff on Banff in Canada, and wherever they happen to go, they vlog it. So I really like Traveling Flamingo because the kind of whole basis of their channel is very similar to what mine is. And then the last one on my list is Very Unofficial Travel Guides. Very Unofficial Travel Guides featuring my good buddy Morgan O'Brien. Morgan lives in Germany, although he is an American. He's from Minnesota. He actually went to college in Wisconsin. Morgan is the very first YouTuber that I ever started watching. He is the reason I started watching videos on YouTube. So I have been watching Very Unofficial Travel Guides for a very long time. I'm one of Morgan's patrons on patreon.com. I like to support his channel. Morgan has given me so many shout outs on his channel, which I super, super appreciate. We have Morgan's merch. We wear his shirts. Morgan is also a very similar channel to mine in that he covers the whole travel experience. So everything from cruising to Disney to any other place that he goes, Morgan makes a video about it. So Morgan's really kind of an all-around travel vlogger, and he was really one of the big inspirations for me starting my own YouTube channel. So check out Morgan and tell him I sent you. That is my fairly lengthy list of other travel YouTubers that I like to watch. I highly encourage you to go and check out these channels that I've mentioned. I hope that you enjoy their content. If you do, please be sure to subscribe to their channels, because every YouTuber likes to get more subscribers. And support their channels in any way you can, especially during this difficult time when they can't be traveling and making travel content for you. That would be really great. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today. If you liked this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. Safe travels!